some of us in our post-youth period. And the young man who has already been discharged, when we were in one of our group sessions and his mom was there, one of the questions was, what got you through to where you are now? In other words, how did you make it this far? And everybody had to go around and say that. And if you have a parent or a spouse there, they had to answer also. So the young man said, my family. The mom passed the first time around when she was crying. Then when it came back to her, she said, I never want to lose my son. So you see parents and children, even all of us have argued with mom and dad at least once. And sometimes we're even at fault. Sometimes mom and dad are at fault. But the love and the care that people who don't even know us, and I was thinking with the scriptures today in Lent, God has known us from the beginning, and yet we try to distance ourselves from God. God has seen us at our worst. God, if you think of the Old Testament especially, has seen us when we're naked. God saw Adam and Eve naked, and that didn't bother God. Because that's what God created. And what does God ask Adam and Eve? Where are you? Stuck with Eve in the apple. Where are you? They were hiding from God. And God created them naked. Believe it or not, and Craig, a lot of people see us naked. I told this story. More people have seen my bum in 3 months than my mom did in all the years growing up. And they check to make sure we don't have sores. But you know, I don't let a lot of people look at my bum. And it gives you humility to roll over. If someone doesn't know you, but they're willing to take care of you. My doctor, each patient has a team. A doctor, physician's assistant, nurse, physical therapist, occupational therapist, a psychologist, and family services. And my doctor had his son graduate from here in May of 07, Tom Palazzi, his son Kelly. Dr. Palazzi told me in my first couple of days here, he said, you're going to continue doing what you've always done, but it may be in a different way than what you're used to. Well, it is. But these people who work there treat us with respect and dignity, and they don't even know it. At times they dress us, or they clean us, or they help us take a shower. Now, why do I bring that up? We know each other, and how often we can hurt each other. We know our families, and how often we can hurt a brother or sister, or mom or dad. And so I think part of the Lent is to look deep inside and allow God to love us where we are, because He's creating us. Regardless of what we've done, there's nothing God can't forgive. That's where the story ends. It ends on Easter. It doesn't end on Good Friday. He's conquered everything if we let Him into our hearts. And the God for me may be a different God for you. That's all right. That's all right. But I ask during this Lent to give our hearts to God. Let Him make them soft. So people, whether we know them or not, we can care for them. Whatever they need. Craig is an amazing place. It's very safe for all of us, parents or fathers. We're all moving around in different ways than we used to move around. And I'm pretty dressed today. The clothes of fair are basically short sweats or a t-shirt. Nothing, these are my fancy pants. I just bought them. They're the buttons you can tear off because they don't want us to sit on anything that can hurt us. So it's real laid back. But everybody has respect for each other. And we don't know each other until we're there. And then it's a brother or a sister who's a parent or a father. Last year, remember, school gave everybody a purple bracelet. Well, this year I thought I wanted to do something different. And so, for our guests, after Mass, Mr. Tion Wynn will have prayer cards that were made up for today. The boys will get it in the theology classes. Girls, you'll get it during the reconciliation service. On the front is from artwork at Chartres in France of God creating Adam. And on the back is a prayer that these 3 months has meant a lot to me. So you can be a priest, you can be an adult, but we all have dark moments, don't we? As you young people, when you're alone or at night, you're by yourself, and you think, how will I get out of this fix? How do I raise my grades in that class? What if my mom and dad know this? And maybe you come from a family that's fallen apart, and that sucks. Maybe you have an illness in your family, that sucks. How do you pray in those situations? Well, this is a quote from Thomas Merton. Prayer and love are learned at the hour when prayer becomes impossible and your heart is turned to stone. Prayer and love are learned in the hour when prayer becomes impossible and your heart has turned to stone. Be part of what Thomas Merton is saying when we finally give up fighting, just let God take over. Then we learn to pray. And then we learn to love. Back in the early 80s, there was a black musical. I just loved it. I saw it once, but I loved the title. Your arms are too short to box with God. And I think a lot of times we want to box God or fight Him. And so during this Lent, let all of us try to work on rending our hearts, make them soft. Let God enter in a new way. And regardless of what it is we're carrying, never forget that what we're shooting for is Easter. If God can be raised from the dead, He can certainly take away our sin. If God can forgive Judas and Peter, He can certainly forgive you and I. God bless all of you. And may you continue to be the men and women that I know you are. Men and women for and with us.